I'd like to think that happened on the playing field and not elsewhere, because Mihajlovic was certainly one of the real characters of the European Championships. He didn't have the best of matches, and there indeed he is, with a very fetching looking mask. Remember Paul Gascoigne wearing one of those a few years ago, and it may well be his. He may have left it behind. So Lazio lining up, and they will be wearing their change strip. Obviously Arsenal in their more familiar red and white traditional garb. This promises to be a thoroughly entertaining match-up. I hope I haven't put the curse on it, but this really does promise a lot. In just a few moments' time, your match commentator from Highbury will be Paul Dempsey.
That will assure them of a place in the next phase. Arsenal's patchy domestic league form is in contrast to a superb start in Europe. Tony Adams is back tonight to captain the side, only his second start in 7 games. Robert Pires went off injured against Shakhtar Donetsk a week ago and is still missing, but Dennis Bergkamp, who scored at the weekend, is in this lineup to support Kanu and Thierry Henry, with Sylvain Wiltord only on the bench. That's how we expect Arsenal to start. Bergkamp showed 1 or 2 signs of a return to form in the league game at Ipswich. Needs to build on that tonight. Well, Angelo Peruzzi is still missing with injury, but Lazio have a ready-made replacement in goal in the ever-reliable Luka Marchigiani. 2 changes to the side that disposed of Sparta Prague. Sinisa Mihajlovic plays at the back with a broken jaw tonight. Claudio Lopez replaces Marcelo Salas up front. It is most certainly a night for the big names here, but Hernan Crespo is still out with a calf strain. Still, Lazio seem to be getting along quite nicely without a player they spent almost $50 million on. So for Arsenal, Lee Dixon kept out of the starting lineup again tonight, but we can expect Sylvain Wiltord to take a full part should things not develop as Arsenal want them to. Jose Maria Garcia Aranda leads our team of officials tonight, the Spanish referee. Claudio Lopez, brilliant for Valencia on their way to the final last season. 1 goal already for his new club against Shakhtar Donetsk. Well, Highbury has already witnessed 1 incredible Arsenal victory in this season's Champions League. Their superb captain Adams, you feel, has been nursed along with 1 eye on this date. Tickets have been almost impossible to come by in London, but you won't find many Arsenal diehards who prefer Wembley to this night at Highbury. Classical architecture, yes. A smaller crowd, yes. But more passion, more noise, and a classic European fixture. Lazio in their change strip from right to left. Patrick Vieira threw himself into the challenge, and Alessandro Nesta was caught by it. First free kick to Lazio, and quickly taken. Fine run by Nedved. Luzhny had to be sharp. Nedved was even sharper. Ray Parlour tidied it up and brings David Seaman into the game for the first time. It's been a good start in Europe for Arsenal, but everybody at Highbury knows this is the night it gets serious. Games now against Lazio, home and away, sandwiched in between their upcoming league encounter here against Manchester United. It's been a slow-burning start to the season for Dennis Bergkamp. These are the nights when he has to underline that he is still a special player for Arsenal. Luzhny. Tighter pitch than Wembley, yes, but Arsenal set up tactically tonight with that in mind, perhaps not looking so much for width as for a tighter midfield with Parlour, Ljungberg and Vieira stopping Lazio from getting out, and the Gunners trying to rely on Bergkamp to make the bullets for Kanu and Henry. Here is Thierry Henry. Loves to run at defenders. Negro might have stepped across him. Alessandro Nesta's asking the referee how could he be penalised. This is the face mask that Sinisa Mihajlovic wears tonight. He's had a broken jaw for the last 3 weeks, did not play in Europe last week, nor indeed in the Coppa Italia fixture at the weekend in Italy. And much like Adams, you feel they've saved him for this night. Martin Keown, twice on the score sheet for Arsenal, here a week ago. Vieira's header. Little short of match practice, it must be said, with his lengthy suspension continuing in domestic football, but that does not apply to Europe. And in many ways, after a tough Euro 2000 campaign, there might be a knock-on advantage for Arsenal, playing just one game a week at this stage of the season. Well, something of a step into the unknown for Lazio here tonight. They know all about Arsenal, of course, in Europe. Arsenal, UEFA Cup finalists last season. And Lazio, thorough as they are, will have noted that Arsenal's improvement in Europe last season came when they were knocked out of the Champions League, having played all their home games for 2 years at Wembley. Once they returned to UEFA Cup action, they were back here at Highbury, and suddenly they started winning the games in Europe. They love it here. This is their famous old home, and they want to make it a fortress in the Champions League. Lazio perhaps have not quite picked up the tempo here early on. It's been a very wet afternoon in London, and it's very skiddy out there. Bergkamp has the air of a man under scrutiny. Only 1 year left on his contract now, and his future, it's fair to say, is not certain here. Parr. Booted clear by Mihajlovic. Adams was on duty. Here comes Silvinho. They love him here now, and he's had a couple of spectacular strikes to his name already this season, coming forward from that position. Given away this time by Inzaghi for Lazio. That's the third time inside 5 minutes they've squandered possession, but he is a striker in form, Simone Inzaghi. 3 already in the Champions League this season, 2 last week against Sparta Prague. There's rain still in the air in North London, and the wind is swirling around Highbury tonight. That was held up on the breeze. Last touch off Mihajlovic in front of the pocket of Lazio fans that have been colourful in London today, but Kanu's won Arsenal's first corner. If you're just switching on, it's not Phantom of the Opera, it is Champions League. Mihajlovic takes Adams. 2 top players in opposition. Silvinho on his left foot. It was hit in with pace and well defended by Lazio. Ray Parlour for Arsenal, it's all in front of him. Adams showed a delicate touch, and his centre-half partner Keown did too. Here's Kanu, the man we expect to have the tricks, and he's done well. Nedved was calmness personified. Veron. It's decent over the top. Well read by Seaman. It was carried on the breeze, I think, toward the north bank. But the type of quick thinking one might expect. And Seaman knows he has to be at his peak here. No serious damage done for Bergkamp. Got that goal, as I mentioned, in the English Premier League game at Ipswich at the weekend, and his reaction told you plenty about just how short of form and confidence he has been. Nice idea. Runner was Henry, a player who does not lack confidence. Veron for Lazio. Well read by Ljungberg. Shorn of his hair this season if you haven't seen him so far. Nesta tidied up. Given away by Mihailovic. It's Bergkamp and Henry. Ljungberg was always going to be second. Again, Veron goes long. Well read by Silvino this time. But the front two of Lazio are trying to press right onto the Arsenal back four, stretch the game out, and also create some width. And this is exactly why Claudio Lopez is back in the Lazio side tonight, because he does have the ability to do that, whereas the likes of Salas, hard-working though they are, cannot change so quickly from in to out. Lopez has that ability. And maybe Lazio have done their homework thoroughly and perhaps think that that's an area where they can exploit Arsenal, especially with a couple of 35-year-old centre-backs. Pancaro. Third man run was by Nedved, and it was a good one. Well tidied up by Arsenal though. Luzhny clear. Kind of got it back off Ljungberg and got his head up and changed pace and changed direction. Silvino. Henry. Now Nesta may just have had a little pull on Bergkamp there, and it may have been seen by the referee, and it's a free kick to Arsenal for the shirt tuck. Well seen by the referee. Great position. Marchigiani will know all about the threat of Bergkamp. But watch out also for Silvino. It's Bergkamp. If you've been watching the European drama in recent seasons with us, you'll know all about the pedigree of Lazio. Again they go long, and again the running of Claudio Lopez. It's a potential threat tonight here, with his pace and awareness of where to run to. But early on, perhaps Lazio's best laid plans to knock it long to the front two have been disrupted slightly by the wind, which has carried the ball away from their intended targets. Gunners winning a few scraps in the middle of the park area. And they're starting to click up the corners here. Won by Henry this time. Great for Lazio that they have such an experienced number two keeper now in Marchigiani, who let nobody down in his long reign as Lazio's number one. It's just that they did move on to a younger keeper, Peruzzi, who sadly finds himself injured. Martin Keown has the thirst for goals now. Adams! Marchigiani came through the crowd and got it. Well, that would have been as big a story as Martin Keown last week. Never been a mug in the opposition penalty area though, Tony Adams. Seaman this time. Safe hands. It's a bug win all right tonight at Highbury, no question. Got the air of two heavyweights testing each other out here. The Arsenal players feel that much more at home, given that they are playing on their home patch this season. Vieira. Here comes Luzhny, the crazy horse as they call him. That's not good enough. Bergkamp had to go back and did well to collect it. Been a good first 10 here at Highbury. Champions League on ESPN if you're just joining us. And if you are joining us tonight, you've picked a good one. Two of the few sides unbeaten anywhere in Europe Unbeaten and with perfect records, I may add. 2 wins apiece before tonight. Looking to be on their way into the next phase. If we have a winner tonight, I think we can say definitely that that team will be through after only 3 games. And that will take a lot of pressure off for the next month. Free kick won by Nedved. Lazio still to concede a goal. Their goal difference +6 so far. Quite a record. One little subplot, perhaps familiar to those of you who have watched the European game at this level in recent seasons. The dominance of the Italian clubs came to a shuddering halt last season in Europe, both in the Champions League and the UEFA Cup, where Arsenal reached the final, don't forget. It's up to the big guns from Italy to re-establish themselves this season. Serie A has long prided itself on its position as the best domestic league across Europe, and it has not gone unnoticed in the Italian press that there are 4 players in the Arsenal starting lineup tonight who have a lot to prove to an Italian audience. Dennis Bergkamp among them after a disappointing spell at Inter. Vieira another after only 2 games for Milan. Ljungberg couldn't dig it out. And along with those 2 for Arsenal, Thierry Henry found himself surplus to requirements at Juventus. And Kanu was released by Inter when they thought that his health problems would actually terminate his career. Arsenal don't mind, they feel they've got the best out of all 4 of those named. Pancaro to Mihajlovic. Keown got there. Parla, it's a tight 3 in that area for Arsenal in the middle tonight. Different system for them, but it's looking solid so far. Henry carried it forward. Kanu. Just emphasising how important the Highbury factor is for Arsenal. They have never lost to an Italian club in European action at Highbury. Fiorentina won at Wembley, but Arsenal fans don't talk about that kind of thing. After the decision to play at Wembley was greeted with mixed results at best. More people saw the Arsenal than before, yes, but overall perhaps a straw poll of Arsenal fans would still say prefer to see them in a final and maybe get to see that game than watch them going out of a competition at Wembley in the early rounds. Vieira. No way through for Kanu. Silvino to Henry, ran into the crowd, very well covered by Lazio. Stopped all the little places where Henry might run then. Early on, no sign of any lethargy or lack of sharpness in the Lazio camp. Still waiting, remember, to start their Serie A campaign this coming weekend because of the Olympic Games. But they have been in action in the Coppa Italia, where they're defending the trophy, incidentally. They did the double in Italy last season. Ljungberg had the body strength. Well defended by Pancaro, he made that his. Keown took a good position for Arsenal. Here's Luzhny. Parla. Again, they're so quick to close down in the middle of the field, Lazio. Nedved on the break. Now Lopez came short. And Inzaghi won the free kick off Keown. Quickly taken. Negro. Off the head of Inzaghi. asking one or two questions, Simone Inzaghi, of the Lazio coaching staff. Sven-Goran Eriksson on the left and Roberto Mancini, their former star player, now assistant coach for Lazio. But a player like Inzaghi, given his record at Lazio, must have been asking questions when they signed a player like Hernan Crespo, close season. If you missed the team news, just to confirm, Crespo out with a calf strain. But it's a lovely thought they still have him to come, should they need more ammunition later in the season. By and large, the Lazio coaching staff giving the squad that did so heroically last season to at last win the Serie A title their chance to go one better in Europe this season, so they really only strengthen judiciously rather than reconstructing the squad. Identical back four, strengthen the goalkeeping position, strengthen the strikers, brought in a couple of squad players. Inzaghi got the first touch on Keown but couldn't turn. They're liking the service though, the front two, especially Inzaghi. Bergkamp beaten by Pancado. Henry trying to stretch the Lazio rear guard without success. Niente for Lazio. Negro joins in on the charge. None of it counted offside. The famous Arsenal arms going up here as they hold a straight line. Watch this. Take your pick as to who was offside. It's been a workmanlike start here for Arsenal, but they haven't ticked their way through a thick-set Lazio defence. Ball was given away by Ray Parlour. Negro to Stankovic. Savinio matched him. Signs early season that Dejan Stankovic is starting to fulfil his considerable potential for Lazio. They've been very patient with him. At times last season, little more than a squad player. Negro makes an extra man in the box, and he can head it, certainly. Mihajlovic with the left boot. Seaman just got there. Hook clear by Bergkamp. On from Lundberg, but not far. Claudio Lopez couldn't link with Nielsen. Taro left it to Adams. Bergkamp on the run here. Nesta too quick. Keown got his boot on it. It's, to extend the heavyweight metaphor, it's blow for blow here. Little territory being sacrificed. But Lazio look comfortable, probably more comfortable than Arsenal would have wanted here so far. Now it's Kanu for Arsenal. First glimmer of a chance for Arsenal here. Not much goal threat. Thierry Henry knows that. Little glimmer of hope when the errant ball in the middle of the park by Veron was picked on so quickly by Kanu. And at this level, the likes of Thierry Henry must be working the keeper. And he didn't. Again, it's long from Mihajlovic. What a ball that is. What a ball. And again, the breeze denying Lazio their tactical plan. But the front two have been detailed here by Lazio, Inzaghi and Lopez, to make long, wide runs to open Arsenal up. And certainly Lazio have the players at the back in Mihajlovic and Nesta, and Veron in front of them to hit accurate long balls over the top. Card for Thierry Henry. Let's have a look here. Well, the referee's verdict is that that was deliberate handball. Kanu caught in the face by the boot. And Pancado. Bergkamp for Arsenal. They really need him on song tonight. It's Kanu. None the worse for that little blow to the face, I think. Still no real goal threat. Desperate tonight, Carlu, to prove to the watching Italian public that Inter made a horrible mistake to let him go. Vieira. Yuzhny. Too big. Lazio this time holding a firm line across their own penalty area, and Henry ran offside. Arsene Wenger and Pat Rice, the coach and assistant coach. Wenger on your right. Rice, who played in the position with distinction, now occupied by Luzhny for the better part of a decade. Luzhny now keeping Lee Dixon out of the side. Pancado. Gave Bergkamp the opportunity to get back at him, and the Dutchman accepted the invitation. Veron, space here. Stankovic really timed his run well, and the header wasn't quite as good as the run he made. Nedved. Here is Stankovic again. Really excellent at arriving late from midfield in wide positions. Adams muscled ahead of Claudio Lopez. Veron muscled his way against Ljungberg and Henry. Lazio keep possession. Inzaghi beaten in the air, but it dropped for Nedved. Tiny spell here for Lazio. Ball out. Well, Arsenal kept them at bay down both sides, but not without one or two little alarms. They've found goal scoring pretty easy, these two, early in the group games. This is a different story tonight. Already I think it's unthinkable that either of these clubs will not feature in the next phase. They've probably done most of the hard work already, but they don't want to start losing games. Of course, the bonus money comes in useful, and it's a very important early season test, especially for Arsenal, of their true standing in the pecking order tonight, because Lazio, by general agreement, must be considered one of the favourites again this season. As they were last season, of course, until they went out in the most dramatic fashion in the quarter-finals against Valencia on a never-to-be-forgotten night. Really the night that Claudio Lopez wrote out his own cheque for the move to Lazio with his brilliant destruction of this Lazio defence. Pressure from Kanu, but no threat. Pancado's getting across to defend very, very well. I think the Arsenal fans might value a little more from the Arsenal crowd here tonight, but taken them a while really to warm up to the occasion too. Inzaghi's first header. Pressure Keown, used his body against him, and somehow, very cleverly, Keown very frustrated by a piece of real cleverness from Simone Inzaghi here. Keown was conned slightly, not in an illegal fashion, but just the technical know-how of Inzaghi to win the free kick. And it's a good position for Lazio. It's certainly downwind and in range for Mihajlovic, even with perhaps a restricted view. Seaman needs to get a good view of it though. Here he comes. We've all seen him score from there. Does appear to have slightly restricted vision in his right eye, with that still swollen area from the broken jaw. It's a brave man to play tonight. Now we are starting to hear the Arsenal fans trying to make it more of that sort of intimidating Highbury atmosphere that Arsenal's players were hoping for. There's just been a little pedestrian from Arsenal in the first half an hour. More frustration. Bergkamp on Pancalo. These sides, famous clubs in Italy and England respectively, last met in European competition in 1970, in the season that Arsenal went on to win what was then the Fairs Cup, which became the UEFA Cup. And it was a battle in the true sense. Arsenal got through, but the night concluded with a brawl between the two sets of players on the street outside the stadium. Let's hope that it's a little more restrained here tonight. Mihajlovic on Kanu. Vieira's clever free kick. It's Silvinho. Decent service, but they needed an Arsenal man running into that area. Silvinho brilliantly won it back. Drop for Keown! Now that would have been a story. 2 goals last week, well saved by Marchigiani here. 2 goals last week, memorably. And before that, only 4 previous goals in 399 league appearances. Adams just got there. Still dropped for Lopez though. Fine counter-attack by Lazio. Stankovic brilliantly won it back. Keown missed it. Luzhny was on duty. Free kick. That'll relieve the pressure. Warning there for Arsenal in how quickly Lazio changed from defence to attack. Now the Highbury crowd find their voice. Vieira. It's amazing how often the bits and pieces in the middle of the park drop for Veron. Well read by Partido this time, but it's reached Simone Inzaghi. Adams says he dived. You can make up your own mind. In Mihajlovic territory. David Seaman doesn't need to. Well struck. Well, I don't think Seaman got the side right. Let's see how close this is. Seaman slightly gambles the other side there, I think. He's none for two, but that was a threat. It's warming up now. Stankovic, excellent in the first half hour here for Lazio. Silvinho. Little Brazilian got it back. No way out though. Let's see what they can do coming out the other side, Arsenal. Here's Keogh. Picked out Henry, Nesta went with him. Well, the linesman here sees something. And again, it stops Arsenal in their tracks. Lundberg forward. Veron yet again picks up the pieces. Lazio have got bodies forward here. What a brave challenge by Liuzny. Brilliant challenge. Still the danger's not past. Niedved. Tony Adams was getting there and did enough to hurry Niedved. But if anything, through the first half an hour, the better goal threat has come from the visitors. Arsenal need to find a little more constructive approach. It dropped for Thierry Henry though. His pace took him clear. Brilliant save by Marchigiani. That is top-class goalkeeping, and that's from the Lazio reserve keeper, if you please. One thing they do have, Arsenal, is pace here, and look how quickly Henry is onto it. But the keeper was equal to it. Best chance of the night for Arsenal. Bergkamp's corner. Marchigiani couldn't get there. Adams! And at the second attempt, Marchigiani gets up a hand and stops it. This turns out to be a better chance than maybe Tony Adams could have expected. The danger is on the counter though, we've seen that already. And here they come, Lazio. Stankovic did brilliantly to get it. Away from Silvinho. Somehow the Brazilian got back goal side. It's opening up. It's Ray Parra. Nesta across. Bergkamp. Can Arsenal build on those glimmers of hope? Veron. At least hurried him. Mihajlovic in a thunderous challenge, and they both felt it, but it does look as though Mihajlovic got the better of it, and that Kanu came off worst here. Boot in the stomach for his troubles. Well, let's look at this. Swirling on the breeze, Adams gets the touch, and Marchigiani's flashing up his right hand. Yes, it probably had dropped out of play and should have been a corner, but let's not fail to give the keeper credit for two marvellous pieces of work, the second to deny Adams. Kanu's been in the wars a little bit in this first half. But he does continue. Stankovic to Veron. Again he goes long. Another great ball. Niedved first time, well read by Keogh. It's some high quality stuff here from Lazio, but Arsenal defensively have held firm. He always looks worried, so business as usual in that sense for Wenger and Arsenal. Sometimes he looks worried when they're cruising to victory. Tiny again. Just needed to be perfect from Diego Simeone, and it wasn't. Stankovic, just with a little bit of retribution here, you feel, for the earlier challenge on Silvinho. Stankovic thought he should have had a free kick in the corner about a minute ago, you may remember, and didn't get that decision. A yellow. Silvinho. Clever little change of pace, and it's released. Ljungberg here. Well defended by Paulo Negro. They certainly have the engines, these Arsenal midfield players, to make the difference getting forward. But that really is the first time that Ljungberg has managed to do it in the game. They've caused a threat from corners already. This man in particular. Marcagiani didn't get there this time. Whistle went, and it's going to be a free kick to Lazio. Bit of pushing and shoving, but hard to pick a culprit really in the battling mass of bodies. Header on by Simeone, picked out by Inzaghi. Nedved coming off that left flank to great effect here in this first half. But Arsenal have kept their shape defensively. Here comes Luzhny. Needs to be better than that. Headed clear by Nesta. Vieira had to hurry. Didn't see much in the tangle with Inzaghi. Might just have been caught from behind. No malice aforethought. Well, at first glance there appeared no malice aforethought, but that was... Here's Parra. Better signs for Arsenal when the likes of Parra and Ljungberg make extra men in forward positions. And they do have the lung power to get up and down the park. Another clever little ball from Veron to Stankovic and on from Nedved. Tried to play the perfect ball then, when Early might have released Inzaghi. Given away by Vieira. Then he recovered himself, but here comes Veron. He's picking up everything loose. Great challenge by Parra. Bergkamp leads Arsenal out. Henry needs help. Now Dejan Stankovic has been booked, remember. This is the point that the crowd is making to the referee. He'll get away with it, but not by much. Henry twists and goes away from him. And I'll wager that had he not been booked already, that would have been a yellow card. So he's living on a thin edge. What a save by Marcagiani as Keown dived in. Set pieces causing problems here for Lazio. And Martin Keown comes within a centimetre of scoring. Bergkamp. Marcagiani one-handed. Got a bit lucky. Arsenal might feel there's a breakthrough coming here. Parra taken down by Nedved. The rain is driving down and it's helping cause problems at the back. That was a splendid save by Marcagiani with Keown sliding in. Would have been an own goal. But he's held firm. I do believe it was Inzaghi who inadvertently deflected the free kick. Ljungberg. Really warmed up here at Highbury, as we hoped it would tonight. Two sides with the ability to go a long way in this Champions League. Kanu, space here. Brilliant goal for Arsenal, well deserved. Freddie Ljungberg makes the difference. It's been coming. Highbury sees Arsenal in front in the Champions League. And it's a well-constructed goal. Midfield player arriving late, didn't pick him up, and how he slots. Kanu over the top. Lazio short-handed. And there's a brilliant bit of work from Bergkamp to cushion the header down. Big goal. Big noise at Highbury. Wenger will need and hope that Arsenal keep a clean sheet till half-time, and then they can enjoy the break. Well, you didn't get this noise when Arsenal played at Wembley in the Champions League, that's for certain. Here's Nedved. Pancaro got a second chance off Luzhny. Luzhny defended well. Keown made it his, helped clear by Parra. They looked for a handball which didn't come against Simeone. Stankovic. Inzaghi beaten in the air by Keown, and Vieira helped. So too Bergkamp to tidy it up. Dropped inevitably almost to Veron. Well, I'd go so far as to say it's one of the big goals of Freddie Ljungberg's Arsenal career. Made for him by Bergkamp, but a powerful run rewarded. That's how they saw it on the Arsenal bench. A good team goal. Bit short. Brave from Mihajlovic. He must know at some point tonight he's going to get a blow in the face, and that will be excruciatingly painful. Negro. Nedved. What a ball. Stankovic. Brilliant cross. Oh. Best chance Lazio have had, and it was missed completely by Simone Inzaghi. Fine response from the Italians. Very important that Arsenal hold out till half-time. Here's Inzaghi again. Pancaro missed it. Well done back by Simeone. Arsenal need to plug all the gaps here. Silvino in the air did well. Stankovic again tangling with him. Quite a feud has developed there. Vieira. Just what Arsenal needed, to drop the tempo. They're the team with the goal lead. And the knowledgeable Arsenal fans recognise that. And it's just been enough to steer them through. Luca Marchigiani was heroic at times in that first half. But Freddie Ljungberg at last made the breakthrough as Arsenal's performance built to a steady crescendo. It's been a good 45 minutes, capped with an exceptional team goal at this level. Lazio's defence breached at last, and Lazio concede for the first time this season in Europe. Excellent at Highbury. It's Arsenal 1, Lazio 0.
giving him all the time on the ball that he wants.
Now, talking of changes, live pictures from Highbury, looks as if Attilio Lombardo is going to be returning to London, not that long ago, there with Palace. And Lombardo, well, he's obviously a wide man, tremendous engine, even though he's getting on in years now. And he is a player that could have a part to play in what could well turn out to be a quite compelling second half. It's coming up right now, and what better time to return you to Paul Dempsey, our match commentator here on ESPN.
Perfect timing as you rejoin us at Highbury, with Arsenal on their way out to protect, and they hope build on their narrow lead here. The rain continues to pelt down in North London, but no dampening in the spirits here among the Arsenal crowd. Freddie Ljungberg's goal divides the sides. Lazio have made a change here at half-time. Attilio Lombardo is on in place of Dejan Stankovic. Stankovic yellow carded in the first half, and as you probably remember, at times a running feud developed with Silvino down Lazio's right. So theoretically, to protect him for future games rather than lose him to a sending off, they've decided to err on the side of caution at this early stage of the season and take him off. The veteran Lombardo will slot into the same role though. Sven-Goran Eriksson, the most charming of men, he'll know that not much will be won and lost tonight in the big scheme of things, but Lombardo is a useful man for him to have on call on nights like this, with all his experience in Europe and all his knowledge of the game. Here he is. Negro. Veron, hassled by Henry, to good effect. Broke for Patrick Vieira. They don't want to let him get into his stride. Diego Simeone slid in so well. As it's going to get into the late stages here, the conditions might become a factor. I can tell you it's rained hard all through the break. Might make it tougher for defenders like Nesta. Referee has given a goal kick here. Luzhny with the throw. Has been used as a centre-half sometimes this season already, Luzhny, in the injury absences of Tony Adams. Bergkamp. Chase for Negro. Given away. Well read by Ljungberg. There was a little push off the ball by Thierry Henry on Negro, seen by the referee. Henry has also been booked. That one is judged a straightforward obstruction. Keown on Inzaghi. Veron. Clever feet from Veron. Chance for Lombardo to show us his class early on here. Well picked out by Seaman. Like for like then, with Stankovic off and Lombardo on. Here's Freddie Ljungberg, the goal scorer for Arsenal. Henry on the burst. Like a couple of ice skaters then, weren't they, him and Nesta? And again, it's Lazio that get the decision. Those two had some memorable duels in the game between Italy and France in the Euro 2000 final. Sylvain Wiltor makes ready. Does have the explosive qualities as a striker to really make life very, very difficult on nights like this for defenders tiring in the second half of a big game. Keown over the top. Mihajlovic left it and Marco Gianni took charge. There'll be no panic here from Lazio. They played so many big games and we've seen most of them in recent seasons in Europe on nights like this, away from home. They know how to dig out a result if they have to when things are against them. Lishny. What a lift to Arsenal's confidence it will be if they pull this off, though. Kanu. Bergkamp. Parra. Lishny. It's tidy from Arsenal. It's patient. And they're starting to believe in their product here. Mihajlovic brave to step across Parra, who is very strong, deceptively strong. Well won back by Lishny. Clever from Lombardo. Warming up again here now in the second half. Nedved. Inzaghi, well defended by Adams. And put behind to safety by Lishny with no questions asked. Inzaghi was really out-battled here by the Arsenal centre-halves. What a good scrap it's been. All around the field we've got excellent, high-quality individual duels with top players opposing each other, and happily so far by and large, competitive but good sportsmanship and respect shown. Corner to Lazio. Mihajlovic with the outswinger. Parra. Living the maxim, if you put the ball into row 12, they can't score. Mihajlovic will have another go. Variety on it. Straight onto the head of Adams, though. Got great distance on the header. Beautifully picked out by Nesta. No danger there. For Mihajlovic wanted to play for Eriksson here. Believes in what he's put together over a long spell now as Lazio's manager. There'll be no panic if this goes against them tonight. Still has the electric pace, doesn't he, Henri? That has made the difference for him, really. Tail end of last season and into the big international games of the summer. And no sign of tiredness. Adams defending deep. Lishny caught by Nedved. Just lent on Kanu. It was really noticeable in the first half as the Arsenal crescendo built toward half-time, how the crowd instinctively picked up the tempo. That's what you get from playing at home, where there's a relationship between the players of the home team and the crowd. One lifted the other and fed off the other in that period, to good effect for Arsenal. And it's a tight stadium, it's a tight pitch. The crowd is on top of the game. Those are the things that the Arsenal players want from their home crowd. One day they will move, and it is now in the definite planning stage that Arsenal will move a few miles across North London, just because Highbury is not big enough for Wenger's ambitions, and he's spoken at length about it on many occasions. He believes a stadium holding less than 40,000 when full cannot, in modern football, be the home of a top side in Europe, when most of the top sides play home games in front of nearly double that many people. Nedved bravely went to the heart of Arsenal's defence. Silvinho won the challenge on Lombardo. Ljungberg was brave. Negro was strongest of all. Good ball. Can he catch it, Lombardo? Not quite. Affectionately known through football as Popeye. From Cardi. Henry again trying to exploit any little weakness with his pace. Well defended at the other end by Arsenal, alive to the counter-attacking threat then with Inzaghi. And how good they were on the counter, Lazio, in that first period. Virtually whenever Marco Gianni got the ball, suddenly Lazio were attacking. High quality stuff here at Highbury tonight. Mihailovic looked for Marco Gianni and he got there. Arsenal perhaps just sitting back a little bit here with the lead here in this second half. Playing down the wind now, don't forget. They can afford to try to do what Lazio did in the first half and go over the top to the pacey men up the field. Here's Bergkamp, drove at the heart of the Lazio defence. What a ball! What a second goal for Freddie Ljungberg in front of the North Bank. The first was high quality, and this may be even better. Big moment for Dennis Bergkamp, who has, yes, as Ljungberg says, 2 for 2 tonight, but this is world class. Bergkamp knows instinctively where to go. What a ball, what a finish. It takes the very best to do that to a defence like Lazio's. Alertness of thought, change of pace, perfect weight on the ball, one-touch finish. Lazio have conceded twice. Their first 2 goals in Europe this season. Well, Ljungberg is an honest player, and he was the first to acknowledge the part played by Bergkamp. How he loved it. Immediately a change by Lazio. Marcelo Salas is on. They need a goal. Claudio Lopez. Simeone battling with Luzhny. He's a very strong customer, the Ukrainian. Pancaro penalised. So Salas on here, and Simone Inzaghi is the man who has had to make way. But we have a proven, thoroughbred, world-class striker to come on. Kanu did well. It's Silvinho, and he too is very quick. Nesta showed enough of it. Veron. Nedved. Lombardo wants it, and he got it. Having a dart against Vieira. Vieira did enough. Lombardo for Lazio. If you're just joining us, Arsenal have built a 2-goal lead here against Lazio. And it's not very often on ESPN that we see Lazio in this much trouble in European football. Not that they play badly. Claudio Lopez blocked down. Lombardo, brave from Adams. Lombardo didn't see him coming in, but he was caught. Good sportsmanship. Been nursed towards this one, Tony Adams. You've had the feeling for the last couple of months, this is the night he's reading his diary. Has to pick and choose his games these days. This is one to savour. Mistake by Nesta. This could finish it here. Kanu! What a piece of goalkeeping. Might have done to strike earlier, Kanu. A rare mistake by Nesta. And that sums up how rattled Lazio are. They've been burrowed out of it by their keeper here, because they were buried. Nesta's mistake. Kanu is in. Maybe he should have gone for goal there, but as always with Kanu, looks to take a player on, and that was his undoing. Now, will that be important tonight? Will Lazio build from that narrow escape? Veron, well blocked by Ljungberg. Arsenal have definitely restructured their midfield here second half and gone to a more orthodox 4-4-2 with Bergkamp deployed down the right. More solid, and it's really harder now for Lazio to play their way through. They got the advantage via the goal in the closing minutes of the first half and built on that. Are Lazio good enough to break Arsenal down? Lombardo's offside. Great tactical battle going on between these coaches here tonight too. Good change of tactics by Wenger at half-time. Bold substitutions by Eriksson early in the piece in the second half. Too long from Seaman. Down the wind. Yes, he was carded, Martin Keown. That's his second in the Champions League this season, so may soon be facing a night off, suspended. But on the other hand, it may not matter, because if Arsenal win here, they'll have 9 points and will be on their way. What a great feeling that would be this early in the campaign. Kanu, Henry. I wonder if we'll see Sylvain Wiltord, or whether Wenger will feel now with a 2-goal lead he can afford to keep Wiltord fresh for the weekend. When, just to remind you, it's Arsenal against Manchester United. Salas gets into it at last. He's really not had a kick since coming on. But look where he is in his own half. Trapped by Parler. No way through. Arsenal are very, very solid now. Nedved. Pancaro. Lombardo did well. Adams did well. Brilliant stretch. Rich Kanu. Henry's screaming for it. Never quite got there because Kanu went to ground. And that's good enough for Arsenal now. Veron gets there. What an athlete Veron is to make up the yards like that. But only at the expense of a free kick. Make no mistake, we've got some world-class players, true world-class players doing their stuff out here tonight. On both sides. Hope you're enjoying it. It's the best club football anywhere in the world on ESPN. Handball against Mihailovic, referee played advantage. Seen Bergkamp drop it in the net from there. He's on fire now, Dennis Bergkamp. His confidence problems are behind him, and he'll try anything. This is when he's, at times, unplayable. One in the air by Adams. Veron. Chase back for Adams, but Seaman was sharp. Luzhny. That's the new role for Bergkamp, wide midfield. And he's good enough to keep possession, even like that. Silvinho. Too easy for Nesta. Here comes Veron. Lazio have got great character, as they've shown us again and again. Negro. Just offside, Negro. Brilliant defending by Arsenal. It's been their stock in trade for years. Wenger inherited a system put in place by Pat Rice, still the coach, and the former boss, George Graham, knew better than to tamper with it. He's just had to put in some younger faces from time to time. Silvinho, as an example, replacing Nigel Winterburn. Negro, with space. Lombardo, Silvinho tight to him, tight enough. Minutes starting to tick by for Lazio and their travelling fans in this right-hand corner of Highbury tonight. Veron. Too easy for Keown. Very clever from Kanu. Veron frustration after giving the ball away moments earlier, but then Kanu was clever enough to lure Pancaro into the foul. Right now, Arsenal are winning most of the key battles, and that's why they're in front. Pancaro to Nedved. Lazio will keep coming, though. We've seen it from them time and again. Here's Nedved again. Now, caught by Parra. Free kick. Another yellow. Parra. Tackle from behind. Not the natural side for Mihajlovic, certainly, but Veron can twist them. And Mihajlovic can just power goals home from this side on his left foot. It's Veron. Well defended by Keown. Right in front of his keeper. Nesta for Lazio. Mihajlovic forward. Adams with his arm in the air. How many million times have we seen that here? Claudio Lopez caught offside. Well, his best days probably behind him, but still knows his own job, and he's a priceless leader of this team. Priceless. Too long for Henry. The great thing with Henry, though, is with his pace he will chase all lost causes. There's the leader at work. Arsenal must feel they have Lazio where they want them in this game now. Are they good enough at this level to see it through? They've been patchy in the league, certainly, in the domestic league. Played well at Sunderland on the opening day of the campaign and lost. poor results and indifferent performances at Bradford and Ipswich last weekend. Admittedly with 1 or 2 changes to the side. But I suppose if you're Wenger at this early stage, the 3 wins in Europe, if they do go on to win tonight, will be more important. Now they might look to lift it at home and away in the domestic league race. Still Salas yet to make a mark on the game. Has not stopped working. The rain has not stopped sheeting down in North London. Veron over the top. Here's Salas. Might yet drop for him. Well, between them, somehow Adams and Seaman got the job done. Veron. Still Lazio come. Drop to Salas here. What a challenge. What a challenge by Adams. And Salas really felt it. No foul, good sportsmanship from Adams, as usual with him, but watch this challenge coming in. Salas is brilliant at this, 1 touch to set himself up for the shot, but Adams read it so early, and in the act of making a very fair, brave challenge, Salas was cruelly caught. It's what it takes at the top level though. Salas okay. Bergkamp. See, he's trying it from everywhere now. Lazio are still playing well, but maybe now they just need that little bit extra. Luzhny's lost his shin guard temporarily. And the referee's telling him he wants it put back in. Arsenal squeezing Lazio up. Doing it to good advantage. Lazio cannot play their way through them now. If Arsenal keep the ball, that's good enough, and that's exactly what Parla did. Good tactics from Arsenal. Straight ball from Seaman will just go nowhere. Playing that way in the first half, Lazio did knock it long to good effect, but it was a diagonal ball, not a straight ball. By Henry. They're just pushing Lazio back and asking Lazio to go back and start all over again and again. Third goal will be nice for Arsenal, but you just feel now as though 2 is enough. And at this level should be, frankly. And Arsenal at this level should be good enough to close up shop. Certainly if it was the other way round, we'd all be expecting Lazio to just close it all down. Job done. Again, no way through for Lopez. To be a striker, doesn't it? And so therefore tonight it has to be Fabrizio Ravanelli with no Hernan Crespo available, and Ravanelli will come on here. Salas has taken a couple of knocks but hasn't produced the goal that they were looking for from him. Will it be Ravanelli for Lopez, or will they go very bold and pull on a striker and spare themselves a player elsewhere? In fact, is the substitute being substituted, if the board is correct? Yes. Lombardo. His return to the action here has lasted around 25 minutes. The substitute is substituted. Ravanelli is now on. But it's a tactical move. Eriksson saw no natural response from Lombardo's introduction, so he's going to change it again. Has to do this to try to pull this out of the fire. At least he's got a player on with a goal-scoring record. pressure from Lundberg. Arsenal are just fronting up Lazio all around the field, man for man almost. And just smuggling the ball back time and again. Great pressure. Henry this time. Frustration for Pancaro. They can see that the writing's on the wall here, the Lazio players. Arsenal know their job here. A solid 4-4-2. The game is won as far as Arsenal are concerned. All they can do from here is lose it. If they get a third goal, that's great, but it's just an icing on the cake. Might come for Lundberg. What a hat-trick this would be. Fine reach by Marco Gianni. Got to knock the keeper here. Another great burst from midfield by Lundberg. Might have finished it. Silvinho. Lundberg on the burst. 15 minutes plus stoppage time is all Lazio have now. Nesta. Luzhny. Deceptively strong in the air, Henry. Jumps so well. Such a good athlete. Drop for Ravanelli. No stranger to English football. Linked with Salas. Break from Salas. Claudio Lopez. Went down. Looked appealingly. Adams put it out to safety. He's such an explosive player in his own way, Claudio Lopez. Never write him out. Volatile, as you can see, and he might get booked here. We've seen bookings for that little petulant moment before. Mihajlovic for Lazio. Negro. Late in the day here for Lazio to inject a change of pace. And let's not forget that they haven't quite got the game experience this season. Here's Vieira. Went such a long way. Henry. Might start to see one or two tiring Lazio players late on here, just short of top game experience this season. Arsenal look full of running. Silvinho's ball was wicked, and he did get back so well, didn't he? Might become a testing last few minutes for Lazio. Nelson Vivas makes ready. Lundberg might shoot. On a hat-trick. Wants to get the match ball to take home, you see. Salas in the air. No way through. Got on somehow, linked with Nedved. I don't think he wanted it back, and Partido was too sharp. Arsenal are building up another little head of steam here. Great running from Partido. What a ball too. Well defended, brilliantly defended by Nesta against Henry. Arsenal appear to be finishing the stronger. Bergkamp makes way. Job done. Point proved. Crowd on its feet. He's back. Nelson Vivas, very experienced at top level. Thought to have been surplus to requirements here last season, but we find him back in the squad. Silvinho's corner. Tony Adams here. That would have been the icing on the cake. No way out for Ravanelli. Goal kick. How he'd have loved that. There'll be a certain amount of ribbing going on, I can assure you, if Adams has to go back to the dressing room tonight, not having scored, when his partner Martin Keown has 2 against his name from last week. Frustration becoming apparent here for the Lazio players. Cheap yellow cards late on would be a very unhappy twist for them. They need to retain their focus even if they are going down to defeat. There are many more battles along the road in Europe this season. But it's Arsenal dictating terms. Yes, well seen by the referee. Silvinho was blocked by Claudio Lopez. An Argentine against the Brazilian star. Working Nestor Henry. It's not very pretty by Arsenal, but it's pretty effective at this stage. It's all they need. Good change of tactics here tonight at half-time, and it's worked like a dream. Yeah, lessons to be learned for Eriksson. Frustrating night it has become, but he's too wily, too knowledgeable, and his team are too good for it to be a crisis. Over the top from Mihailovic. Picked out by Nedved, good energy to get there, but nothing resulting. Veron. Arsenal hustling the man in possession all around the field. They're winning all the loose stuff now. Simeone forward, what a good ball that was, but no way through for Nedved. Arsenal just block up the spaces. Negro. Claudio Lopez to Nedved. Silvinho this time gets his foot in. And Lazio, yet again, have to go backwards. Given away by Claudio Lopez. Kanu. Henry. Kanu. Nestor to Veron. Most disappointing aspect of this second half perhaps for Lazio is that their early goal threat has not been repeated here. As it's developed, perhaps in the cold light of day tomorrow they'll look upon this and say, we didn't quite have the player when the game was there for us to make that little bit of something different. The way Bergkamp did for the first goal to some extent, and definitely the second goal for Arsenal. Hasn't been bad in any area of the field for Lazio tonight, but that one little spark of something different, which is the game breaker at this level. Claudio Lopez has given it away. Again. Listening. No rush, no need to rush. Nestor. Pulled back by Henry in the view of the referee. The North Bank crowd there believe that Nestor was a little too willing to go down. Sylvain Virtue will come on. Explosive pace. Going off and explosive pace coming on. There's a love affair going on at Highbury between the Arsenal crowd and Thierry Henry. They love him here and he loves them. Don't think he's too pleased to leave the scene. He's enjoying himself tonight. Need him fresh for the weekend though, and Viltor is a goal threat against anyone. 1 or 2 starts to leave Highbury here. Believing the job is done, and believing that Ljungberg's goals will be sending everybody home happy soon, apart from the Lazio contingent. One or two people trying to get a flying start against the traffic on a wet night in North London. Five minutes left. Lazio got a free kick. Marcelo Salas battled for it. It is against the breeze, but that's not the kind of thing to worry Sinisa Mihajlovic normally. If they get one back now, Lazio, the people who've left early might be regretting that decision. Martin Keown actually went back onto the goal line to try to create an extra barrier. Here's Mihajlovic's free kick! He's been a virtual spectator here second half, David Seaman, until now. Look at the power here. Anything Roberto Carlos can do for Real Madrid, this man can do for Lazio. Now he's taking the corner. Nedved picked it up. Top quality goalkeeping is all about retaining concentration when sometimes you are a spectator for a long spell. And then you've got to do this. Still England's number one. Over the top from Vela. Rushney just let it run behind him. Chase for Salas that he will not win. Turned out the right decision after all then. Very solid. Again tonight, Luzhny. So important that all around the field, if Arsenal are to thrive in Europe, that they have cover. A big squad. And in most positions now, they can at least point to options if everybody is fit. And that is so critical. Blow for Parra on the calf, I think. Nelson Vigas. Just helps keep it tight. He's very, very good in these situations, it must be said. There have been times when his defending has been questioned and indeed costly to Arsenal in recent seasons. Here's Viltor. They call him the new Ian Wright here. He's very much a world-class striker in his own right, if you'll pardon the phrase. But the similarities on and off the field are uncanny. Now Tony Adams has come already so close to getting on the score sheet. It would be the perfect end to the night for Arsenal. Silvinho with it. He was aiming for Adams. Got a piece of it. Oh, brilliant from Viltor. But Adams knew he was offside. It's almost all over by the shouting here at Highbury. Ravanelli gets a free kick. Wonder how much action he will see this season if Crespo does get himself fit. All ending rather sadly here for Lazio. We've seen them scale the heights so often. But this is a night when they'll have to go home and regroup and have a rethink. Nedved. Three more minutes which will be enjoyed by the Arsenal contingent here. And it's just really prolonging the agony for Lazio. More frustration apparent in Nedved's reaction. Leslie slipped, allowing Ravanelli to get the wrong side of him. But Keown and Adams have really been at their absolute peak tonight. And not much has really gone past them. Ljungberg past a couple. Silvino. Viltor showed too much of it to Nesta. Yet again, Arsenal just keep Lazio penned in. They've done that brilliantly here in the last half hour of the match. Ravanelli again facing away from where he wants to go. Over the top it goes from Simeone. Salah's denied by Adams. And how well that Arsenal back four has been operating tonight. Nesta to Negro. Pretty much now or never in this game for Lazio. Still time for Arsenal to make a showpiece goal of this. Nelson Vivas on the charge. Kanu into the corner. Oh. Vieira. Now is Viltor offside. No, game still on. Veron. Ravanelli. Veron. Ball out, Claudio Lopez. We're just down to the formalities here. Highbury stands to acclaim a famous Arsenal victory here. Now we know why they love Highbury so much in the Champions League. 2 goals from Freddie Ljungberg make all the difference tonight. The architect of both, Dennis Bergkamp, and a night of triumph, Tony Adams back as Arsenal's captain, an impenetrable barrier along with Martin Keown. Arsenal have sent out a message to all the other top sides in Europe here. They are on their way into the second phase, and they have one of the few perfect records left in European football already this season, as Lazio go down to their first defeat. Lazio will surely be back, but Arsenal maybe are going to go a long way in Europe this season with Highbury as a home ground. The result at Highbury tonight, Arsenal 2,